Alright, this is Calibos, and we are playing Beyond the Skies. So, I have got a little more progress done on the chickens. Honestly, I was just waiting for this chicken to do its thing. And I guess we have all these other chickens. Oh my gosh. So, where were we in the quest book? No, we were working through something. Oh, we did this. Probably accidentally, actually. Um, I don't know. I know we just finished the agriculture, so now we've actually finished 3 of these. We need to do blood magic, but I want to get some more power going. And I was breeding the chickens up for that. Storage we've accomplished, tinkers we've accomplished. Extra things. So, what mods are these from? This is mechanism. This is extra utilities. Yeah. Let's knock out some extra utilities. Do we have any in here? So we have this. We'll need that. We have some ender pearls. Ender pearls. We'll need some of that. Stone. We'll need a couple of these. Now, I don't know how much there is to do in this, so we are going to need to make a resonator. So let's make a resonator first. So, easily accomplished. That gives us some prismarine shards, which we didn't really need, but... Come on, there we go. So now, let's make a watering can. I like watering cans. This one is not as good as it used to be. But it still works. Oh yeah, it's not going to go in there because it doesn't have a space. So, next bit. Solar power. So the cool thing about solar power, at least in this particular instance, is it doesn't actually take all that much to get going. Monkeys. What am I doing? I have a freaking jetpack. I'm amazing, right? Jetpack. I always forget the jetpack. So let's pop these down somewhere. You know, these are now green condos. They do solar panel. Solar power. Well, that's weird. And as well, I think this keeps things from spawning up here. So just in case, let's check. And we'll light that up. But that should give us some grid power. And the way that we can check is because we're going to need this resonator anyway, so we'll drop the resonator. And it works. So, let's look at this. We've got that done. Gives us 3 extras. Great. So now we need water mills. How about it? How many mills do we have? None. Alright. So let's check out water mills. So we're going to need 8 of these. And 2 of these. 1, 2. Then we're going to need 6 stone burnt. Now, stone burnt's pretty simple to make once you have your first solar panels. Now, if you're playing a mod pack where there isn't any sun, there's another option. And that is the manual mill. So you basically will, well, let's build one. It won't hurt anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 manual mill. And there. There we go. So a manual mill, you basically spin it and it generates stuff. But since we don't have to worry about that, we're not going to. Because it is now nighttime. Which I've been waiting for. Alright, so let's cruise back over to this, and you'll notice that it is now accumulating power. We have stone burnt. So because I am lazy, so we're also going to make a number of these. Need to make sure that that is a number that is divisible by 3. Not simply for entertainment purposes, but, you know, for entertainment purposes. What are we building? We're building a mill. A water mill. Now, there are a number of other mills that you can make. So there's the lava mill, which works when adjacent to lava, of course. Water mill. This only works for flowing water. Now, I'm not going to set it up. There are a number, unless, you know, somebody asks me to, I guess. But there are a number of viable setups. That's not going to do any good. There are a number of good setups specifically for mills and raising GP. So I'm not super fond of the addition of GP to this mod. One of the things they've done to basically make it necessary is the transfer nodes are now a lot slower unless you I don't even know if that's all it wants in the quest. Unless you add speed upgrades. And the speed upgrades require 1 GP per level. So you can use up to 4. So 4 of them gives you, for example, if you put it in a water transfer node, or liquid transfer node, 1 bucket a tick. It used to be you moved a bucket on its own, and then with the world interaction upgrade, of course. And then you could speed it up so it would pull even faster. So, you know, by doing what they did make the mod, you know, last a little longer in some ways. At least it takes a little bit longer to make it. On the other hand, it's quickly surpassed by most other mods. So I used to use extra utilities a lot, and I have to admit, I pretty much don't use it anymore. Because there's just so many other things which are faster and as convenient as it used to be. So, you know, I guess there's a lot of mods like that out that are doing that. And I get, so there are upgrades to this. But, you know, this one is lots of XP and enchanting. So each one of these magical wood is 4 XP, you know, 4 levels basically. So that's 16 levels. Well, that doesn't actually require any, so that's not bad. So this would basically require 16 levels. So it would make stuff a lot faster. And then you have this with the drops of evil, and then you do nether stars to make them. And then, of course, the 16 XP that you used before. Drops of evil, of course, you get from wither skeletons, which you can make in skyblocks pretty easily. Otherwise, you need to go to fortresses. Anyway, sidetracked. Wireless RF and wireless RF transmitter. So that. And we're going to need some more stone print. So we'll... 6, okay. So we'll do this. Yeah, I'm not super concerned about this working at night. I mean, it would be super handy, I guess. But so that's not quite enough. We need at least 8 to do stone burnt, and different operations in this will actually require different amounts of power. Some of them can require quite a lot, actually. And then if you put upgrades in it, not only does it do the upgrades require power, but it increases the power usage as a whole. So, for example, so it's faster, but it just uses silly amounts of power. Alright, so now we have this. That should do that quest. Next, we're going to need the analog crafter. So, let's see what it says about it. Yeah, analog crafter. Now, we're just going to need one. So let's do this. So typically the analog crafter, I believe if it's the one I'm thinking about, you would use in a grid of 9. So you would set up like a vertical grid. So it would look, you know, like this. Right? And then you would have 9 inventories behind it, and then you'd stick a lever on it. And it would take one thing from each inventory and craft it. So, let's see if you can do it. I don't know if they're near. So, for example, say that these were all diamond chests so that they wouldn't connect, right? Just in case. Then you'd stick the analog crafter here. Interface has changed. Nice. Put the recipe in, and then it would craft it. Maybe. This didn't used to have a GUI, so maybe its function and stuff has changed. So I might play with that and see what happens. Okay. So let's make a sleeping bag. That seems somehow appropriate. So it wants a sleeping bag, yes. Sleeping bag. I'm pretty solid I don't have like really anything for that, so alright, sleeping bag. Man, we are grinding through this. Building. So this would be a building guide. So now we have two of them. I seem to recall. We'll do this over here for the moment. So, if you'll look, each side actually has a different function. So I am right-clicking on the top to cycle through it. This changes the I think this changes the dimensions. I am not seeing, I mean, if you're looking at the, you'll see that it has the -8, -9, -8, and then it has 8, 9, 8 for the sides. So depending on which side you click, and you'll notice that there's actually like buttons here. You'll see that I have managed to change the numbers and stuff. So you can change size, you can change orientation, all sorts of cool things. And I have never, I don't really use them. Okay, that looks weird. And I think once you have a lever or something, they will actually. Are we still doing... Shouldn't we be doing glowstone? There we go. Ta-da! And then you can change the sizes and stuff. And then you can just place blocks. It's very cool. So if you ever needed to like build some things, it's not a bad way to go. I really like open blocks. It's a solid mod. Its stuff is fairly usable all the way through. Yeah. We'll fix some of this later. Keep the sleeping bag. Keep that. Get rid of those. Get rid of that. I guess I can hold on to this. Put this in the bag. Honestly, I need to enchant the bag with, like... I don't actually think there's a way to enchant it so I don't accidentally delete it, because I do that a lot. No idea. By the way, in case you cared, you can totally use this to dye stuff pink. I know this is very important to you. It is a world-changing experience knowing that. Well, it might be for some people. Some people are very fond of pink. I am perhaps not as fond of it as other people are. But that may be because I find it actually painful to look at. All that aside. That's the builder's guide. External backpack, luggage. So these things are freaking cool. I love them. They are adorable. You can pick it up. You can expand it. You can feed it things. It's cute. And it follows you around. So, watch. Oh, because of the torch. Here, come over here. This is better. It's cool, huh? And then you shift right click it to pick it up. So, yeah, it's just cool. I don't know. I like it. But we have the luggage. It gives us the black concrete. Not sure why we need the black concrete, but we have it. So, Devnull. Devnulls are super awesome. Devnull. So, not quite as useful in a skyblock, but certainly something you should be able to, you should use. Gluttony Charm. I don't remember what a Gluttony Charm does, but I guess we'll wear it. Sweet. Shield. Hate shields. Gluttony Charms. So, anyway, what the Devnull does is you shift right click it in the air and it gives you an inventory space. So, like, we could put something in there. So, let's get a couple stacks of cobblestone. And we're going to put a single cobblestone in there. Now, oh no, not that. We're going to pick you up in case, you know, you decide to do something bad, like interfere with the demonstration. So now we can walk over and we'll put all of the cobblestone in a messy pile over there. Notice the Devnull still only has one. Devnull picks up 64. And all of the rest of the cobblestone got deleted. So what the Devnull does is it holds exactly one stack of an item. and then deletes the rest. This is useful because if you remember I said you had to shift right click it in the air to open it? If you simply right click it, it places an item from the stack. So while you are wandering around mining, a dev null will simply delete cobble that you don't need, or other waste rock in whatever kind of world you're in. They're very fancy, and I like them. So we have completed 2 sections of quest here. This would be extra utilities. This is open blocks. I believe that this is the calculator mod, and we will probably... Some of this is calculator, some of this is mechanism. So we'll work through some of the rest later. But I really need to go because it is nearly 8 a.m. And while that doesn't seem like it should be that bad, it means that I am 3 hours past when I should be in bed because the sun is rising, and I don't do that. Because I'm a nighttime person. Alright, so yeah. Questions, comments, concerns can all go in the section below. You know where it is, and I will read it, definitely. If you want to like the episode, feel free to do so. If you want me to butcher more Endermen, I will happily butcher Endermen for you. See, I am such a giving person. I have so many of these Friender Pearls. And there goes my backpack, thank gosh. So, yeah, that's that. You folks have a good night.